guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome here if you are new. So in today's video, I figured I would finally sit down and share with you the 6 bank accounts that my family uses to keep on track with our budget. So I wanted to start out by mentioning that we have been working on paying down $26,000 in debt since the beginning of January, and so far we have paid down all but about $13,000, so that's a pretty big accomplishment for us. We've been working really hard, and if you want to know how we did that, be sure to check out the playlist down below for you. Secondly, I wanted to say that this is something that has been working for our family, and this is just how we do it. I am just here to share my experience with you. You can take or leave my advice. It's not gonna hurt my feelings either way. And you are more than welcome to comment down below and tell me all the ways that you have found success in your budgeting journey. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So I have my iPad down here, so if you see me looking down here, that's what I'm looking at. So our first checking account, we just call it our checking account. This is where all of our income gets deposited into. So when I get paid, when my husband gets paid from our regular earning jobs, this is the checking account that we use for that. This is also the account that we use when we have to transfer money to all of our other accounts, and this is the money that is only used for spending and to get groceries with. So we basically just use it as like a starting point, and then we transfer to B, C, D accounts. So that's the first checking account. Our second checking account is what we call our bills checking. So this is the account that we transfer money to pay our bills. So electric bill, water bill, any other bills that have to be taken out of an account, this is the money that we transfer that to, so that we don't have to worry about overspending. That was one of the reasons why we did this method, is because we were having trouble trying to figure out how much money we need to leave in our checking account to make sure that our bills are paid. So that is why we have all of these different checking accounts, because we needed it to be able to stay on track. So the third account is our house account. This is a checking account, and my bank, as long as you have a checking account with them, you can create as many accounts as you want, and you can do it online. You don't have to go in and see anyone. I'm not going to tell you my bank account, but just check into your bank to see what kind of services like that they offer. That is one of the things that I love about my bank, is that so many services are used online, or you can just call the 1-800 number and they can help you right there without having to actually go into the facility and talk to someone, because I know how nerve-wracking that is for me, for one, and then trying to find the time to do it. So that's one of the things that I love about my bank, but you should definitely check into that for your bank as well. Anyway, our house account. So our house payment is such a large payment that we are not able to take it out of one specific check. So we never pay our house payment with just one check. That would leave us with nothing. So what we do is we set a certain amount of money aside each paycheck, and when we get paid, I go in and I transfer that money to the house account right away, so that we make sure that our house payment is paid, because you have to have somewhere to live. That's one of Dave Ramsey's biggest things. Make sure you take care of the roof over your head, the food in your bellies, and everything that you have to use to live on. So that is why we created this house account, and we only use that to pay our house payment. The fourth checking account that I have at my regular bank is, we call it our extra savings account. So this account is used for any extra money we have after the weekend, after all of our purchases have cleared the bank. Now, I want to say that to say that we are in a place right now where we can go and, go out to eat for $20 if we want to. I can go grab a Starbucks if I want to. I can go to the Dollar Tree if I want to. And because of everything that we've done this year to really try and discipline ourselves, we know how much we can spend without overspending, and having all of these different bank accounts has really helped that. So with this money that is in our extra savings account, I usually go in on Tuesday, which is usually how long it takes for all of our weekend purchases to clear the bank. and then I will go in and I will transfer whatever money is left over in our checking account, and I will transfer it to our extra savings account within that bank. And then we don't spend any more money throughout the week. Usually, like if I know that I want to buy something from Amazon, I'll wait until we get paid and then I'll buy it then, so that I'm not spending money throughout the week. And also it gives me some time to really think about the purchases that I want to purchase. I bought 2 bookshelves for our living room, and I thought on that for all week. You know, is this really a good purchase? Do I really want to spend the $40? And I did. So I just wanted to kind of say that. And we transfer it no matter if it's $5 or if it's $200. We always transfer that to our extra savings account. And once it's in there, we really don't touch it. It's kind of just there if we want to pack up the kids and go to the zoo one weekend, it's there. So that's kind of like our extra savings or our fun money, I would say as well. So if you don't have like an extra savings account or a fun money account, I would definitely consider doing that, because you have to be able to live. I know that like Dave Ramsey is really like rice and beans, beans and rice. And that's kind of one of the things that we don't like about Dave Ramsey, is that he is so strict. It doesn't leave you any room to live. And we really had to let go of that part of Dave Ramsey, because when we first started this whole debt-free journey, I was really like, this is what Dave Ramsey says. We have to do this, we have to do that. We can't eat out, we can't do this, can't do that. I can't buy ice cream at the grocery store, like things like that. And we really had to let go of that. So if you are like hardcore Dave Ramsey, I would definitely suggest looking into the Budget Mom. She has the same philosophy as in you really need to get your debt paid, but she also makes it to where you can still live. You're not just living to pay your bills anymore, you know? So anyway, that's my little rant on that, but I will leave Dave Ramsey's YouTube channel down below, as well as the Budget Mom. And then I talk about Jordan Page all the time, but she's really good at giving you advice on how to live frugally. So like saving money at the grocery store, doing family activities without spending any money, things like that. So I'll leave all of their YouTube channels linked down below for you, but those are the 3 people that I really follow during this whole journey. Oh yeah, I just wanted to say that. Okay, so our 5th account is in a separate facility. It's in a separate institution. So this is our $1,000 emergency fund, and this is really important because, just for example, our laundry room floor completely bottomed out. I literally fell through the floor in the laundry room, and that was considered an emergency. So we had to use our emergency fund to fix that. Along with that, our water heater was leaking, which is why the floor fell through, and we had to replace our water heater. And thank goodness, I pray to God every single day, thanking him that we have an emergency fund. It's only $1,000, but I'm telling you, sometimes that will make or break you. If we hadn't had the emergency fund and we hadn't had all of these extra bank accounts, we would have been using our house payment to pay for that. And then we would be behind on our house payment. And that's how we used to live. A year ago today, that's how we lived. If we had anything that came up like that, we were in trouble. So I just strongly encourage you to build up an emergency fund. $1,000 is our comfortable place. If you live in a more high cost state or area, then I would suggest really looking at the prices around, and maybe you do $1,500, maybe you do $2,000, but here in small town southern Missouri, $1,000 is just fine for us. Also wanted to say, along with that account, if we use this, we replenish immediately. So we take this very, very seriously. We don't eat out. We don't go do fun things. My husband doesn't go golfing. We scrimp and save as much as we possibly can. And then once we get that $1,000, we can go back to our normal life that we were living. But that $1,000 emergency fund is very, very important to us. So get your emergency fund in order. Just do it. You'll feel so much better. You can sleep better at night, I promise. Okay. So this last account is our savings account. And so this account is more, we use that to save for more specific things. So like right now, I am saving for Christmas because the way that our debt-free journey has kind of went, I've not been able to do sinking funds and do it effectively. So I've just decided to cash flow everything that we need to, so like birthdays, Thanksgiving, things like that, I can add that into my budget. But Christmas is kind of a hard one because we have so many people to buy for. And so I'm using the savings account to save for Christmas right now, which if you would have watched my previous budgeting video, you would have seen that I incorporated a Christmas savings fund for that. So that's what we're saving for right now. But just maybe some ideas to give for the savings account, for vacations, big purchases, like, I don't know, Liam is wanting a Nintendo Switch, so eventually I will be saving for that for him. And we plan for these transfers into this account into our monthly budget, which I kind of talked about earlier. But yeah, the savings account is used for specific things. And once we're more stable in our budget, and I say that because my husband is, he enlisted into the military. And so this time next month, he'll be in basic training, and his income is going to change dramatically. And until we get that first paycheck, I have no idea what he's going to be making. So that's why we're not really saving for anything else yet. But once I know how much money he's going to be making, I'll be able to start looking at more goals. And so yeah, you'll see all that in my budgeting videos. If you've been following my budgeting journey, you'll see all that unravel, and I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see what comes next. But so yeah, that is our 6 bank accounts. If you guys have any questions about the accounts themselves, I can always answer more questions down below. I see all of your comments. I don't always reply to all of them, but I really do try to. So especially if you have questions, I always try and reply to those. But I wanted to say a couple more things. So number 1, we do not spend money until our bills are paid. I literally wake up on Friday mornings and I go into our bank account. For one, make sure that our money has been deposited and that it matches what my husband's check stub says. So that's one of the things. Just really keep an eye on your bank account on on those things. I wake up on Fridays. I place my grocery order. I transfer money where it needs to be, and I pay bills before I even get out of bed. Does that sound crazy? Probably, but it's how we do it, and it's been working. That is how committed we are to this budget, and that is how we've been so successful. We do things, and that's it. We don't spend money until our bills are paid. Also, I wanted to say that I always meal plan on Wednesdays. So Wednesdays, I'm usually home from work, and I just set aside time to go into my pantry, do a quick food inventory of my pantry, my freezer, my fridge, just see anything that I really need to get used up or want to get used up. And that's kind of how I create my meal plans around what I already have, which I've gone into detail about that in my vlogs, and I think I even have like a specific video on it. I can link it down below for you. But I meal plan on Wednesdays. I put everything in my cart on Thursdays. I also scroll Ibotta and see if anything that's in my cart already is on Ibotta, because you can get money back for that. And along with Ibotta, I wanted to say I do not plan my grocery list around the Ibotta rebates. Number 1, because you don't get that money back until you already spend it. So once you spend it, you've already spent it. You're not, you know what I mean? So I don't ever plan my meals around Ibotta. I just look to see if if what's already in my account is what they're giving back, which is just always a plus. Anyway, I put things in my Walmart cart on Thursday night so I can purchase and reserve a pickup slot on Friday morning to pick up groceries on Saturday. I always pick up groceries on Saturday morning. It just works for me. I have a routine, and that's what we do. So, also wanted to mention some alternative options for savings and maybe debit cards and how to save some money. So number 1, I talked about this earlier, but sinking funds. You use sinking funds to save for purchases throughout the year. For example, birthdays, Christmas, property taxes. I don't know, if you plan a big 4th of July get together, maybe start saving for that. Things like that you know you're gonna have to get a big chunk of money. Just go ahead and do sinking funds, which in January, I'm gonna get serious about my sinking funds. So you guys keep me accountable, because I gotta get it done. So yeah, but we're not gonna start that till January. The second one is a Chime debit card. So I can leave Chime's website down below for you. It is completely free. We used this for a little while I was trying to quote unquote train my husband to not use the debit card all the time. So we had Chime cards, and basically you can transfer money to this card for your spending money, which is what we did, and it's there within 48 hours. So like we would transfer the money on Friday and it would be in his account on Monday to be able to use for, I don't know, if he got hungry at work, he could go to the vending machine, or if he didn't work out in the morning, he could go to the gas station and get an energy drink before work. Just money set aside for that specific debit card for spending money if you're having trouble swiping your debit card all the time. Because the one thing about Chime, it will not let you overspend. There's no overdraft, whatever. So yeah, I can leave their website link down below for you and use it if you're having trouble spending money. The last thing that I wanted to mention is credit cards. So the only credit card that we use is a credit card that I have through Chase. It's a cashback card, and I don't use it on any purchases except my subscriptions and my phone bill. And the reason why I use it for my phone bill is because if you put your phone bill on auto pay, you get 10% off your bill. So that's why I did that. And then my subscriptions, there's just too many to count. Well, I wouldn't say that. There is a few that come out in like various times of the month, and it was just too much for me to keep up with. So I decided to just have it come out of my credit card, and then I just make one big payment at a certain time of the month. And it has been working for us. We don't spend on the credit card just to spend, and yeah, that's what I have to say about credit cards. If you are smart about it, then it's just fine. But yeah. Also, along with that, I have probably 7 or 8 credit cards in my name, and then my husband has 2 or 3, I think. They all have 0 balances. But I know Dave Ramsey says to call the companies and close them, but that is the last thing that we want to do, is to close them, because that looks bad. And we're just not willing to risk that. So I put all of my credit cards, they are all stacked on top of each other. The top one is face down, the bottom one is face up. They're all stacked on top of each other in a little Tupperware container in the freezer in water, and it's frozen. So if I wanted to get any of those credit cards, I would have to unfreeze all of that. And I haven't had to this entire time, and I put those things in the freezer in January. So if you're having trouble spending money on your credit cards, put them in the freezer. Make sure you have them in water. Make sure that you can't see them. Just do it, because I'm telling you, your life will be so much better. That is all that I have for you today. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that you guys learned something. Maybe you can take some of my tips and apply them to your life. But again, this is just what has worked for our family, and we've been pretty successful at it. So hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, please subscribe. Other than that, I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys.